right, I'm ready. Gotta get the nerves winding down to a little bit of that Lamaze breathing. Okay? Just kind of freaking, relaxed breathing. I don't even know what Lamaze breathing is. Actually, if I'm going to be completely honest, I just assumed it was people who didn't know how to beatbox. But, just... And let's go! Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Full Circus, episode 16. That's the sound of a zombie. I'll explain later because I have got a freaking story to tell you. Is it a good story? Does it have a happy ending? It's kind of hard to tell. But it's just time to be real, okay? It's time to be real and raw with you guys and tell you what really happened over my weekend. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do a little emergency podcast, okay? A little warm-up. So I don't know how this episode's going to go. I've gotten so used to, dropping a little bit of pre-sauce, right? I'm kind of like preheating my own oven. Preheating my little conversational freaking, mouth oven. Conversational. Conventional. But not applicable because no one ever hears it. But anyways, I didn't get to do one of those. And that's usually kind of my place to play, to fool around and find my bearings and get ready, Get my land legs. Get my freaking vocal legs. I don't even know what that means, but I would get them. And now I don't really know if I have them, to be completely honest. Okay, that was my safe space, especially because no one else was going to hear those things. I had complete free reign, free control to say whatever I wanted with no consequences. I could just freaking spout off for my irrational hate and fear of gingers, and no one was the wiser until I just said it right now. So crap. Where's the backspace button? No, I'm just joking. Actually, listen. Okay, gingers, they're a little bit weird. They're a little odd. I don't know a lot about them, but to be completely honest, I don't have a fear of hate because I've got ginger in me somehow, some way. I've got little strands of red through my hair, or especially in my beard. Like when I grow it out, there's just tons of this just freaking copper wire. I don't know where it comes from. Okay, maybe it is from Ireland, and again, like the accents, I don't know if the freaking leprechauns are gonna beat me up, but I got a little Irish in me. Or is that Scottish? No, I think that's Irish. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Okay, they both wear green, and I love you guys, and I'm one of us. So I didn't get to do my emergency podcast, and I'm gonna tell you all about it now. Starting off hot because we don't waste time. We don't just dilly-dally, right? We don't just freaking just shuffle our feet and move in place and not really get anywhere except for when we're vamping and filibustering and not really, progressing in life, which we do often. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, we do it a lot. I'm doing it right now. But I will start talking about what I wanted to say eventually. Did I say episode 16? I think I did. Covered it. That's all I really had to say. That was my one prerequisite before I really get into the nitty-gritty of this episode, was to just title it, name the number of the episode. And I'm thinking after 20, maybe I'll stop doing that. Because there's not a real need for me to call out the number. Because it's not like you guys can't read. Unless you can. Then you're like, whoa, I didn't know it was episode 16. That's impressive. Didn't know. But maybe it's better. Maybe it's better to just kind of be intertwined, because then I could just be like, oh, hey, welcome, I'm here. And you're just like, wow, we're here. We don't know. This could be the second episode. It's not that great. Or it could be the 300th. And it's kind of just doesn't, they kind of just bounce back. So maybe I should stop doing that. Unless it's a real banger, then I'll just be like, yo, this is the freaking 50th episode. Get ready for a closer, a freaking like a guitar riff of a podcast. Super hot, super flames, fuego. It's all about catching fire, baby. And technical difficulties, my bad. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I was talking about. Good thing I ramble a lot because it's not really important information, so I can just kind of get right back into it wherever I was. So, enough of this freaking verbal gesturing. random, whatever I'm saying this whole time. Let's get into it. Last episode, all right? I walked in here like a star, like the man with a plan, but didn't have a plan, but just coasted on the freaking raw butt cheeks of life, right? And I kind of just pointed out that I'm lucky, dude. I've got freaking dumb luck. Not just dumb, like freaking stupid luck. Like low IQ luck. Unintelligent luck! I've just got so much of it. And I was just pointing out how things always work out for me. Little did I know. The story's gonna have a turn in case you didn't pick up on that. The nuance of this podcast. Yeah, I point out that, things work out for me. Previously on Full Circus. Yeah, things there's no problems in my life. Things always work out for me. There's no way I could be touched. I'm invincible! And now back to our current day. So, that same day that the podcast was uploaded, I went to Cedar Point. Okay? Now, you've all heard of Cedar Point, or any roller coaster town, your local death festival. Wherever your one's near to you, you've heard of it. You know roller coasters, right? Now, this isn't like super important information, but I've had a deathly fear of heights my entire life, and I thought, hey, why not pay $100 to go experience it? So that wasn't dumb luck. It was just dumb, but. You know what? I went up there. I went on these roller coasters. I was like, hey, I guess I'm not as scared of these things as I was, or like a little bit, but I was like, okay, it's easy to conquer because that's what we do. We just freaking march forward. And I always had that in my back pocket, the fact that things work out for me. So I was navigating my way through all these rides, and I was like, oh, wow, so I might die right now, but things work out for me, so it's not going to happen. Okay? I knew I was all right, no matter what. And to go forward a little bit, we're kind of just vibing. We're going throughout the day. Everything's all right. All of a sudden, we get on this roller coaster. It's called the Rangaroo, I think. There's just tons of loops, and the loops are great. They're so much fun. All the corkscrews, everything. It's just I really do enjoy it. While I was on, I'm like, yeah, that's neat. That's super cool. I mean, I'm kind of like I said in the last episode too. I don't think you should really be enjoying the thrill of an almost death experience while you're on the coaster. That means you're a psychopath. So I wasn't exactly saying that, but I was pretending. Okay, I was like, wow, this is weird. All these people are screaming in fear. They're normal, but the ones who are enjoying, I'm going to keep my eyes on them. Yeah, so we rode these things, and immediately, as soon as the ride stops, my head is in like 3 different places. It's like my body got knocked into the astral plane, and I am so dizzy. I just drop you just drop your head, chin hits the sternum, and you're like looking at the ground, and you say, hey, it's over for me. I'm going to throw up. I'm like, wow, I guess that's the end of the thing. That one got me. That one got me a little dizzy. That one got me, okay? Some people get dizzy just spinning around. So I hang my head. I was like, let me just sit here for a few minutes. So I sit there and I wait. It doesn't get better. I don't get better. The dizziness doesn't go away for some reason. I've been off the roller coaster for 90 minutes and it doesn't get better. I'm like, holy crap, what is going on right now? Now, eventually, my good pal, my best buddy, buys me some freaking ice cream, like a freaking homie, okay? Because I'm like passed out on this bench. He dropped like $8 on that. So, big thanks. Big thanks to my man, Drew. His name's not Mandrew, it's not a play on Andrew, it's just Drew. But, big thanks, that helped a lot, because I was just eating these Dippin' Dots, and like, holy crap, I'm starting to feel a little better. So about 2 hours into it, after a ride, which is way longer than you think you should be able to recover after just like spinning around for 80 seconds, I'm starting to feel a little better. And there's one last roller coaster, one huge one. We're like, we gotta go on it. I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling better. I'm like 90% okay. I mean, it's been 2 hours, but I'm 90% okay. Now, was this a dumb decision? Okay, it's just taking me 2 hours to recover from a roller coaster. I should have said, hey, let's call it quits. Let's just stop here. Was it dumb? Yes. There's no maybe about it. It was just stupid. But we never backed down from a challenge. And I thought, hey, things always work out for me. That's why I'm feeling better this fast. Because I've got this. Whatever this is in my life where things work out, I'm like, I'm ready. So I get back on the freaking roller coaster. Huge one. Massive. I get off it. Ring. Boom. Like Doctor Strange gets knocked out. I'm out of body experience. I'm like, dang, I'm like in some other park right now. I don't even know where everybody else is. Head drop down. And this time, it's freaking lights out. There's no 90-minute wait. This happened around like 5 p.m. Fast forward because Drew, the guy who bought me the ice cream, he accidentally lost his keys on one of the rides. So we had to stay until the park closed to get his car keys. So little did he know, it was actually very beneficial to me because I was able to lay down in the freaking parking lot for an extra like 4 hours. So I was laying down there and I was like, wow, this kind of sucks, but maybe this is just things working out for me. And another guy comes back, like an angel sent by the Lord. This guy walks by. He's like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm just a little dizzy. It's going to be okay. Now, I didn't tell him I had been dizzy for 4 hours, but he's like, I'll get you some water. I'm like, no, it's okay. And I was like, how much? How much is it? Because it's super expensive at this place. It's like $6. He's like, listen, man, I'll go get you some water. If you say you need some water, I'll get it for you. No worries. I'm like, oh, yeah, I appreciate it. He comes back, gives me the water, spends $6, disappears into the night. Never see the guy again. I'm sipping this water thinking, hey, things always work out for me. And 4 hours turns to 5. And I'm starting to realize things might not be okay. All right? Things might not be all right. So it's finally time to leave. We hop in the car, and as soon as that motion kicks, I finally get off this freaking parking lot where 80 people keep saying, is that guy alive? Is he okay? And like, yeah, no, we're on a roller coaster. He's been out for 5 hours. Like, that happens. So I start to realize something's not all right. And we get in the car, and you know what? It becomes a mess. I'm like, hey, I can't do it. We gotta go to the hospital now. So I accidentally, throw up. I tried to hold it in as best as I could, but I threw up all over the car. I said, I'm sorry. And yeah, and that was gross. And we get to the emergency room. Turns out something's severely wrong. Okay. I think it's called BPPV. It's got tons of letters in it, right? Only consonants. And if you don't know what that is, good, because neither do I. It's something to do with like your crystals in your ear canals, your brain. If they get dislodged, your entire equilibrium, your balance, everything gets shifted off. So something got knocked in my head on the roller coaster. And they're like, yeah, it's, that's just the way that's going to be. That sucks. And they're like, well, what do you do to fix it? They said, you got to get like a head specialist. You got to go to the doctor. You got to get somebody who's going to freaking fix it. I'm like, all right, that's great. Good thing I'm at the emergency room. You guys can take care of me, right? Because I'm dying. It's now like 1 a.m., okay? We're about 8 hours into this mess. They're giving me medicine. I'm still throwing up in there. And they're like, yeah, unfortunately, we don't have those kind of people here. That's just something you're going to have to live with until you find someone that can fix you. Like, helpful that is to me. Like freaking encouraging. That's like the complete opposite of, hey, you're going to be okay. Those words can make someone feel okay alone, right? That'll cheer you up. Like, hey, you're going to be all right. And you're like, okay, well, that makes me feel a little better. When you have a doctor say to you, yeah, listen, unfortunately, it's just something you're going to have to live with. I can't even open my eyes because I'm so dizzy. Every time I open my eyes or move my head, I throw up. They're like, yeah, well, good luck. Okay, thanks, dude. Thanks, guy. And, yeah, and they were kind of, I could talk about the hospital forever because the nurses were super rude, too. Like, they had zero bedside manner, not even, like, average baseline. There was this guy. he was asking me for my address and my name, and I couldn't speak or else I'd throw up. And my brother Nicholas tried to answer for me. So he's like, what's your name and your address? And then he spoke up. He's like, it's Tristan Sartoris. And then the guy cuts him off, and he's like, excuse me, I was talking to him. Okay, all right. So just stop right there. I was talking to the guy who can't speak. And then we're like, okay. So he's like, okay, so name and address. And I'm like, Tristan Sartoris. And I'm like throwing up. And then he's like, and he's like waiting for more information. He's like, dude, you want to chill for a second, or at least get somebody in here who can help me or dial back the situation that I'm in right now? And he didn't, but we powered through. We got there, and eventually it was like 2 or 3 a.m. And we got out of there, and nothing was changed. Nobody fixed anything. So I guess my whole point to the story is things did not work out well for me. Okay, I went there. I was wrong, and I think that's what beat me up the hardest. You know, I was sick and I was throwing up and I felt like I was dying. You know, when you can't open your eyes, but you're awake, it's just like, holy crap, you know, if this might be it for me. And that's not even what got me the most. You know, the fear of death. I wasn't going to die, but the fear of death was not what scared me. It was the fact that things might not always work out for me. And I was like, oh crap, this sucks. Oh no. And then I had to do a little soul searching. And I was trying to think about it. And I was like, okay, well, what about the parking lot lock? What about the water lock? What about the fact that I did recover for a second just in time to ride that extra roller coaster lock? You know? What about the fact that I got these people around me that are willing to wait this long in a hospital? That I'm freaking here. That I'm surviving and I'm pushing through. That I've got a brother who's going to try and speak up to the doctor even though he's going to get cut off. You know, I got some people, like, things are looking pretty good for me. You know, my personal situation, my health is freaking plummeting. But my soul, my spiritual luck, right? Thank you, Jesus. I was freaking beginning to pull it back. It's like, right, things do always work out for me. It does not mean that I'm impervious to damage, right? I thought I was invincible. That's not the case, right? We can all get beat up. We can all get knocked down. And sometimes you just stay down, but you realize that there are some lucky moments. Yeah, anyways, I had to twist that in my own, and somehow as soon as I made that make sense in my head again, I fell asleep. I started to wake up, and I started to feel better, dude, because things always work out for me. And then I had my mom buying Oreos. I had people bringing me food, drinks, snacks, sleep, pills, anything. It was great. And all I had to do was just have a little mini bad experience. So really, I lucked out, baby. Things always work out for me. Am I tempting fate by saying this again? Maybe. Yes, there's no maybe about it. So I guess the lesson is that, I'm not invincible. I'm not impervious. But things will work out. And maybe that's something other people need to hear, right? We don't just walk. We don't just glide. We don't just ice skate so majestically and beautifully through life. Sometimes we get beat up and we get knocked down, but things do work out eventually. Somehow. I'm not the guy to give you life lessons. You know? There's you listen to all kinds of these podcasts and stuff, and it's usually people in their 40s, or they got some wisdom or something to share, or some sort of knowledge. I'm just a 22-year-old in a closet right now. Okay? I'm not the guy who's supposed to be giving you life lessons. And I often think, I'm like, oh, I'm going to turn this into a life lesson. And it's more of a joke, because you shouldn't be taking advice from me. But, I listen to some other podcasts. And I anytime you ever hear like a younger person try and educate and bring a new perspective and a new thing, it's like, oh man, this is how I got to live my life. I wake up and I grind and I do this, and I freaking, you got to do this, and you got to twist that and find that, and you just exist in that, and eat avocado toast in the morning. You'll be okay with a side of lemon water. But yeah, advice is just not my thing. I could give it, doesn't mean it's going to be great. And the same way I hear all these other younger people, I was like, dude, where have we been, you know? You're in the same ballpark as I have. We've barely been around the sun, okay? You think we've made a few trips? We don't know what we're doing here. So, I'm not the guy, I'm not the guy to be giving life lessons out. You know what I mean? Like if life's biggest questions is just a big, huge math problem, right? If the goal is to understand quantum mechanics, I'm freaking rocking AP English. Now, all that means is I'm really good at the wrong thing, right? At being in the wrong class. That's what that means, okay? So I'm not here to give you advice because I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just running my own journey in my own path, in my own track. And yeah, I'm really good at it, but I don't have any idea what's going on above my head, what's going on out there. So, in case you ever come here and you're like, wow, I didn't come here for the jokes, I came here for the freaking valuable life lessons because this is an 80s sitcom. Every episode is just going to end with some sort of beautiful moral advice. You came to the wrong place, Jack, because if you heard in that story, realistically, I didn't learn a dang thing. I freaking got rocked and I said, yep, everything works out for me. That is not a life lesson. That is fundamentally stupid, irrational optimism. Yeah, it's just eternal dumb luck and just dumb. So, if you're ever in the realm of advice or coaching or training or whatever, go somewhere else. Because I'm 22 and I don't know what I'm doing. So, that's really all I got to say on that. That was my horrifying experience. But you know what? We do what we got to do. What else has been going on? We're 22 minutes into it, almost, just about. Freaking, I ordered some more stuff off Amazon. I know I've got a problem, guys. Okay? Do you think it doesn't make me sick every time I listen to a podcast and I hear how much money I'm spending on Amazon? But you have to understand, it was Prime Day, man. Prime Day. Do you know what Prime Day is? You can get like freaking $25 off. Maybe even 30 or something. 25 to 30, I don't even know. That's a lot, not percent, $30. And I couldn't help it. When I see a deal, I take it. I'm not proud of some of the things I do, and I wish when I see a deal, I can't help it. It doesn't matter if I don't even need the thing, right? It could be like, I could see a pack of diapers. It's like $8, like, oh, wow, 25% off, you get it for $6. I'm like, wow, I mean, I know people who have babies. Maybe I have a kid in the future. It's a deal. I might as well take it right now. And I'll spend stuff on crap I don't even need. A pack of AAA batteries? I don't even have anything that takes AAA batteries. But if it's 25% off, I take the deal. So I got a problem, all right? And that's how they get you. And I'm being honest. If it's 50 cents off, as long as it says sale, if that little tag is under it, if it says sale, you've got my eye. Whether I need the freaking crap or not. So I spent $800 on Prime Day. My wallet's a little bit lighter. It's no longer really weighing my pants down. And yeah, so I'm embarrassed. My disappointment in myself is very high, but only for a second, because then I think about the things that I'm getting in the mail. That USPS high, baby, we've talked about it before. Stuff's coming in the mail, and I'll track these things every day, and they're coming again, man. I can't help getting excited. Okay, I've got a problem, and it's just something, if you're going to keep on listening to this show, if you're going to continue to ride this podcast with me, you're going to have to be ready to hear about my stupid decisions on Amazon. Maybe once a week. But, I'm making a big joke out of it, but the truth is that I bought stuff to help with the podcast and voiceover. So it's not like I just bought dog toys for a cat or something like that. Like, it just didn't make sense. Because if it just can be confusing. It just doesn't make any sense, And sometimes I'll just say things that don't make sense. And I'm sorry about that. That's kind of my game, right? Like, if there was a sport for saying things that didn't make sense, I would be in the Olympics, and I wouldn't comb my hair. Get it? See, that didn't make any sense. And that's why I'm the best! Man, what else has been going on? What else has been going on with me? What do I have in here? cords. Oh, I think I was just talking about my new charger cord, and then I had a whole bit. I don't know if I'm really gonna go into it. I think I'm just gonna like halfway sail into this bit because I'm like, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Right? We're just gonna ride it, and if it works out, it will, because things always do. So cords, charger cords. How many of us have them? In this house, not a lot, right? We lose our charger cords a lot, all the time. And when my brother lived here, he was a little cord bandit, dude. He was that little apple cord thief in the night, like Robin Hood stealing from the poor, but he wasn't giving it to the rich. He was just, I don't even know. He just kept on taking them, and they were just dumping them somewhere. I don't know if he was like putting them on Facebook or eBay or something, but we just lost our cords middle of the night, just gone. That was his thing. Like we wouldn't even address him as Joey anymore. We would look at him like, oh, dude, it's the freaking cord bandit. It's the cord bandit. What for what reason does he need 12 cords? For what reason? Why does he have so many cords? But he's always out of them, so I really have no idea if he eats them, if he sells them, if he just freaking, I don't know, uses them as weapons. But we never saw those cords, and that's where all of us would go. You lose a cord, you go to Joey. You gotta go to your cord guy. He's like the underground guy. He opens up his jacket. He's just got nothing but iPhone chargers. And so we'd lose a cord, like, dang, I'm not looking to buy. Where's my freaking cord, dude? Where's my charger? And he'd be like, no, I don't have it. And then you'd look over to his right, and he's charging his phone with it. You're like, that's mine. He's like, oh, is it? So, yeah, that's what it's like living in a family with thieves, okay? With these freaking dishonest individuals. We've all got our quirks, right? Joey was iPhone chargers. It's better than stealing something, it's better. Maybe it's not. I was going to say maybe it's better than stealing some very valuable things from like a retail store, like stealing something from Walmart. It's better to just steal from your family. And I don't know if that's the right message or not. Again, this isn't my class to teach, baby. This isn't my life lesson. Yeah, so you used to always have them. So much so that like he moved out, and if I lose my charger, my immediate thought is just like, Joey. And I'll call him up and I'm like, yo, where's my charger cord? He doesn't even live here. But that's just how much I know he's had it. And a couple times, yeah, he's had my cord still. Or headphones, doesn't matter. Guy's a bandit. Now that's all I have for Joey's problems. Now I could talk about my problems or someone else's problems, but the show's just too short. The show's just too short to keep on elaborating on all my own issues. But I already did, so really it's just a fair trade. All right. I think that's it. I think that's gonna be a solid episode, a little wrap up. Okay, this is a crunch wrap of a podcast. I wanted to talk about, because it was episode 16. I was gonna tell some freaking awesome driving stories, right? Because it's like, this podcast is now able to drive. And I thought it was gonna be a great little theme. It's like, oh yeah, this is adorable what we're doing over here, and I didn't do that at all. And maybe I drove you insane, and maybe that counts. But, I didn't get my license until I was 17 anyway, so it kind of works. And I'll tell you all kinds of fun stuff there. See, we can still be awesome! All right. I gotta go check my Amazon packages. I love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you in the next episode. And just remember, things always work out for me.